Shalom everybody. My name is Rabbi Dr. Shapira, and from time to time I'm releasing to you urgent videos. This is one of those moments that I hope that you will share and like this video. As you know, over a year ago I've released to you the book, The Fall of Edom. And today, after the joint press release between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, I am convinced without a shadow of a doubt that we're in the final stages that will lead us to the final episode of Gog and Magog. I would like you to take a few moments with me today and understand what is behind the statement by Donald Trump as he vows to remove and transfer 1.8 million Palestinians out of Gaza. Is he mad? Is he maniac? Or perhaps he's been used by God right now to usher the redemption of the Jewish people. I hope that this video today will cause you to go and read the Fall of Edom seriously and consider the days that we're living in today. I'm going to be presenting to you today 6 prophetic points that you must take into account as a direct result of yesterday's speech by Donald Trump. Now, before I get that, as we see the plan to redo Gaza completely, you might wonder, what is the reaction today from the Arab world? We see today the headline, from China to Russia, all the way to France and Spain. There is a direct criticism on the plan of Trump as the nation of the world say, this is an ethnic cleansing to move forcefully the Palestinians from their own home. Furthermore, we also see today the reaction from Hamas itself, as we see that there are still tens of thousands of operatives in Gaza. The reaction from Hamas is like this. They say, and I quote from the Hebrew paper, we will not receive the plans to uproot us from our own land. But while all of this is taking place, the Palestinian Authority, the Hamas and Egypt, all against this. I believe that this plan that is put by Donald Trump is going to be fulfilled. And I will explain to you today why. Of course, at the same time, Benjamin Netanyahu made a statement today about Saudi Arabia, and he stated, the peace agreement with Saudi Arabia will take place. I guarantee it. So what is it that Benjamin Netanyahu knows, that Donald Trump knows, and most importantly, that the Bible tells us that each and every one of us must know? I do believe that President Trump is right now being used as a vessel by God, as a pawn by God, to usher and prepare us for Gog and Magog. The events that are happening right now have been prophesied clearly and carefully by the prophet Zechariah. Let us read together in Zechariah 9:5. It says in the Hebrew, "Ve'az atachil me'od, ve'avad melech me'aza." Prophecy point number 1 for all of us. Gaza will lose its occupier. It says in your English Bible, Gaza shall tremble violently, kingship shall vanish from Gaza. Those 2 words in the Hebrew Bible are telling us exactly what's going to happen. And in a moment you will see the connection for the coming of the Messiah. Gaza will lose its monarchy, its own leadership. It's going to be sign of this time. And our rabbis tell us the following, and I quote, the king of Gaza at this time will lose the kingdom, and the kingdom of Gaza will return to Israel. Brothers and sisters, in bullet point number 1, let me stress to you today that the prophet Zechariah and the rabbis of Israel has stated that the kingdom will return to Israel. But wait, there is a caveat for this. The rabbis continue to tell us where is this kingdom is going to be lost from to. And I quote from Rashi itself. He says, for Ashkelon relied on Lebanon, which was the head of the son of Esav, which belonged to Edom. Do you follow this? First, it's going to be the fall of Lebanon, which will lead to the fall of Gaza. Friends, this has been prophesied, and they're all connected, as I explained to you in the Fall of Edom, to Esav, which belonged to Edom. The spiritual root behind this is Esav and Edom. Ashkelon, the Philistine, and Gaza all represent one entity which will fall and will lose its strength and power as we see Lebanon is following. The downfall of Gaza is coming. Listen to what our rabbis have told us. They say Ashkelon will see the fall of Lebanon, faith and fear. Gaza will also see and tremble greatly. This Philistine site likewise depending to a great extent on trade and foreign relationship. Like United Nations, when its inhabitants see that Lebanon is lost, they will realize that their own conquest and downfall is also imminent. Brothers and sisters, point number one, the downfall of Gaza has been prophesied, and as you're going to see, in connection with the imminent return of the Messiah. Prophecy point, chapter 9 in Zechariah, point bet. Another nation will control Gaza. Did you notice what Trump said? Trump says that the United States of America will occupy Gaza. This, friend, has been prophesied in the very next verse in Zechariah chapter 9 verse 6. 9:5 tell us that the kingdom of Gaza, Hamas, will fall, and in verse 6 it says Vayeshev mamzer be'ashdod ve'ekrati gaon plishtim. A mixed race shall settle in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Who is this mixed race that is going to be there? It is going to be the United States of America. But there is a potential that the mixed race refer to the United Nation. God forbid. We need to watch for this. Now notice what the rabbis tell us, that the mixture of the nation will be present in Gaza. It uses the word mamzer. The word mamzer, according to the rabbis, comes from the word zar, which means a foreigner. It is going to be inside the land of Israel, a foreigner who is going to be occupying Gaza. Exactly what President Trump has said. And the rabbi said on that, as a mixture of different nations will be dwelt in Ashdod, and in general I will eliminate the pride of the Philistine. We are going to see this pride of Hamas, of Gaza, completely fall. What President Trump is doing right now is in according to the Bible and according to prophecy. We must understand this. But wait, there is more to that, because we are now understanding why President Trump is in the White House. We need to understand what is next. Point Gimel. This is our time right now. How do we know it? Because the next 3 verses, Zechariah 9:11, prophesies that this will take place during the time of the hostages. And I read to you, Gam et bedam britcha shilachti asirecha mibor ein mayim bo. As for you also, because of the blood of the covenant, I will set the prisoners free from the waterless pit. Now let me ask you a question. What is waterless pit? Waterless pit is the tunnels. In Hebrew, it says, "In mine there will be no water, but there will be pit." That is a picture of the tunnels. And it says that the captive will be set free through the blood of the covenant. Brothers and sisters, Israel today are in the midst of a holy war. Through the blood of the covenant, it will be won. But the rabbis did not stop there. They said that this is a parallel for the coming of the Messiah. Friends, those verses of what Trump is doing right now is in direct parallel with the hostages who are set free. And here the rabbis explain, and I quote, this verse speaks about Israel, just as it stated on King Messiah, who was redeemed by his righteousness. Israel will be redeemed through the blood of the covenant that they held on to. Israel is being redeemed through the covenant, but it's the picture of the Messiah himself. Why? Because in the end of this passage, it is the beginning of the final word and the coming of the Messiah. And a matter of fact, bullet point number 4, prophecy number 4, is leading us to what I've been telling you again and again. All of those things are a preview for the final battle, for the final Gog and Magog that is going to be taking place. Listen to what it says this. It says in verse 13, Ki darachti li Adonai keshet milati Ephraim, vorarti banecha Tzion, al banecha Yavan, usamticha kecherev gibor. For I have bent Judah my bow, fitted the bow with Ephraim, and raised up your son, O Zion, against your son, O Greece, and made you like the sword of a mighty man. Pay attention to this. The verse is speaking about the bow that is being stretched out, and it's being folded as Ephraim. This is a picture of the fullness of the Gentiles. Now, notice what it's happened. He is filling the bow to be able to be shoot down. And here the rabbis explain to us what it's talking about, and it says, the 10 tribes called Ephraim, I will put my band in fullness as a bow ready to shoot in great strength. Could it be that United States right now will not be Edom, but rather will act as Ephraim, who is going to be reconciled with Judah? I would like to give you another scenario. America has to choose today whether or not there will be Edom or there will be Ephraim. There is a possibility that through those things, the fullness will come true to those who are agreeing to the plan that President Trump is putting into place. The word that is used in the text is the word mileti, mean the fullness. This, I believe, is the picture of the final action of the fullness of the Gentiles. But there is more to this text. You see, it says in the text that he will awaken Zion. And the rabbis tell us that this awakening is the final battle of Gog and Magog. And I quote, the word of Zion are the word of awakening for the sons of Zion to go and fight for the sake of your son in the battle of Gog and Magog. Friends, this verse, the verse Zechariah 19:13, is the verse that prophesies about Gog and Magog. In essence, taking over Gaza, removing them, seeing the hostages, and ultimately seeing the nation become full. Ephraim is the Messiah, son of Ephraim. Becoming full is a picture that is leading us straight into Gog and Magog. We have to understand that is why President Trump is in the office right now. But wait, there are 2 other shocking prophecies in the same chapter that I must make you aware of, so you understand. In the very next verse, we have seen a prophecy of what just took place in the last 90 days in Israel. He says, then the Lord will be seen over them, and his arrow will go forth in the lightning. The Lord God will blow the trumpet and go with whirlwinds from the south. Where is the south? The south is the word Yemen. Where did they fire the rockets at Israel? They fired the rocket from Yemen. And in the next verse, God even tells us about the anti-aircraft defense system that will stop it. Do you want to know who stopped the rockets from hitting Israel? It is God. God said so in 9:15. God of hosts will protect them, will sling stones. What is the system that Israel developed called the sling stone of David. How appropriate. The sling stone that devour and conquer, that they will drink the rage and wine and will be filled like a dashing ball. God will stop the rockets from a place that is called Yemen. Exactly what is happening. Now, to make things clear, beyond a shadow of a doubt, when all of this will take place, when will Gaza will be flattened, when they will remove the people from Gaza, when will Israel see the hostages set free, when we will see those things like the rockets that will be stopped, when will it happen? Listen to Zechariah 9:9, right in the middle of this passage. Rejoice greatly, fair Zion. Raise a shout, fair Jerusalem. Lo, your king is coming to you. He is victorious, triumphant, yes, humble, and is coming, and he is riding upon a donkey. Brothers and sisters, we have just received all the greatest signs for the fulfillment of what is found right in the middle in the passage, the coming of the Messiah himself. It is right now the calling and operation of the nations. I do believe that right now the nations and the plan that is put up by President Trump is a plan that is going to be leading us to the final battle of Gog and Magog, to this false peace agreement, but it's also going to be leading us for the coming of the Mashiach. So what should we expect next? It is simple. The plan will be successful. And as this plan is going to be successful, we are going to see the final battle that will be emerging right before our own eyes. How amazing our God is, that he is using a man like Donald Trump today to bring salvation to Israel. Remember what it says. All things I have done, God says, so that Israel will experience his salvation. Get yourself ready. Read the epic book, The Fall of Edom, today, and let us continue to see as prophecy unfold right before our eyes. Shalom, everybody.